And then next up, we have our first top 8 Ahri build. Welcome to the meta, Ahri players. Let's see what our battlefield lineup looks like. We have an Obelisk of Power. We have a Dreaming Tree, which in a lot of matchups, Ahri is going to be the sole beneficiary of. And we have a God Willow's Grove. This is definitely a hold style deck akin to Master Yi, so it makes a lot of sense. For our unit lineup, we have a lot of standard stuff here. The 2 Wielder of Water, a unit that everyone thought was so broken in the first early weeks of testing, but now it just weaks so much removal, but you can still get good value off of it. I do wonder if this would just be better as like a Sunlit Guardian though, given that Ahri doesn't really have to send units into battlefields alone. Just an initial thought. Seems like our chosen champion is our green Ahri, where when it holds, it scores additional points. I wonder if we'll see blue Ahri in the sideboard. We don't see it in the main deck at all, surprisingly. And then for other standard stuff, it looks like we might even be playing a little bit more ramp as well, because we do have the Tasty Fae Folk. And with 6 accelerate options, actually maybe even 8 if you consider the Sprite token from Sprite Mother, this is a fascinating build. Even the potential to kind of steal those final points where a lot of our other Ahri builds wouldn't have that capability, because we just don't see Tasty Fae Folk in those decks, which is definitely interesting. For our spell lineup, we are all in on Time Warp. This is so interesting. Wow. I didn't think a Time Warp strategy would do this well into such like a quote-unquote fast meta, but I say fast meta, it seems like things are slowing down between Master Yi's desire to ramp and Kai'Sa just not doing as well in this particular tournament. Like, Kai'Sa seems like the fastest deck in this equation, with Set being pretty fast as well. So these ramp decks are actually finding success with these other fast decks in the format, which is kind of crazy to me when you think about it, but in practice it seems very strong. And then for our equipments, we have 2 Zonias and 1 blue seal. I do agree with this philosophy of just playing 1 blue seal. If you see it, it makes your life easier. If you don't see it, you got to manage your runes well. But seeing too many seals can make for really bricky hands. And then down to the sideboard, we have 2 copies of Echo for even more accelerate and possibly to take extra turns, because when you crash it into a battlefield, it readies all your runes and then you can just keep playing, which is insane. And then we have Unchecked Power for battlefield clearing. We have the 4-drop here, I forget the name of at this moment, but it is going to allow us to remove gears. We have Rune Prison, and we have 1 copy of Blitzcrank. 1 copy of Blitzcrank is sort of interesting. I feel like you definitely would want more copies, because it can just lock down games outright sometimes, but if you see the one, you recycle it over and over again, and you're good to go.